Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into something quite interesting, a big increase in Americans heading over to Portugal, especially, it seems, after the 2024 election.
Exactly. And we're drawing this from a report in Portuguese newspaper Público. They're using data from AIME, that's Portugal's agency for migration and integration, and info from the U.S. Embassy, too.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. The numbers themselves, they really they paint a picture. We're talking 20,959 U.S. citizens registered there in 2024.
Which is a huge jump, right?
Yes.
Almost 50% up from 2023. That was what, 14,126?
Yeah, a massive increase. And get this for you listening. That's 7 times more Americans than were in Portugal back in, like, 2017.
7 times. It's not just a small tick up. It's a really significant trend. Such a big rise in just 1 year. It definitely signals something shifted.
And the report suggests the key reason is, well, unhappiness with the political and social situation back in the States.
Right. General discontent is mentioned. You have to figure that covers a lot of ground. Maybe concerns about, political division, social issues, future policies, perhaps.
Yeah, it could be a mix of things driving people to look for a different kind of environment.
Mm-hmm.
And the report specifically calls out Donald Trump's 2024 reelection as a big push factor, a major catalyst.
It does. Apparently, there was this noticeable spike in people searching online, like how to immigrate to Portugal right after the election results came out.
Wow, that shows a real sense of urgency for some people.
Definitely. And it wasn't just everywhere. The report notes states like Washington, Oregon, Colorado showing, well, a particularly high interest.
Huh. Any thoughts on why those specific states may be looking for a societal vibe closer to, what they perceive Portugal offers?
That could be part of it, yeah. A sense that Portugal might align better with their values, perhaps. So, okay, they want to leave the U.S. or at least explore options, but why Portugal specifically? What's the draw?
Well, the report highlights a few key things. Great quality of life, obviously,
Mm-hmm. It's usually top of the list.
and the climate. Can't argue with that. Plus, a really welcoming culture, which is huge.
Absolutely. And then there are the practicalities. The report mentions a sort of attractive fiscal setup.
Oh, right. Money matters.
Yeah.
And apparently, the process of actually moving isn't super complicated.
Relatively speaking, yeah. Portugal has kind of built this reputation over time, hasn't it? As stable, safe, and crucially more affordable than many big U.S. cities.
Right. So you can potentially have a comfortable life, maybe on less income. That's a huge plus for many people.
And Portugal's been smart about it too, trying to attract people. With things like the golden visa for investors, for retirees.
Yeah, those programs definitely send a message like, we're open for business or come retire here. Makes it feel more achievable.
Exactly. And it's not just visas. The report mentions good international schools, healthcare access, both public and private options, plus all the culture, food, tourism stuff. It adds up to a pretty appealing package.
So the picture the report paints is Portugal as this sort of open door in Europe for Americans, whether they're looking to invest, retire peacefully, just get a better quality of life.
Or find a place that feels, tolerant, safe, democratic, and maybe near the beach doesn't hurt.
Huh. Yeah, the beach is probably a nice bonus.
And it seems like the money is following the people, or at least the interest. The report notes rising U.S. investment in Portugal, too.
So it's not just individuals thinking about lifestyle, it's also about capital, seeing Portugal as stable and offering opportunities.
Seems that way. It reinforces the whole trend.
Okay, so wrapping this up for you listening.
Right.
We're seeing this really striking surge in Americans moving to Portugal, driven, it seems, by dissatisfaction back home, particularly post-election, combined with Portugal just being, well, really appealing. Quality of life, welcoming vibe, affordability.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? This specific situation, Americans choosing Portugal, what does it tell us about bigger global trends? How are people around the world starting to perceive stability, opportunity, quality of life in different places? Is this a one-off, or maybe the start of seeing more movement like this driven by these kinds of factors? Something to mull over.